Every job has its challenges, and employers want to know you will be able to step up to the plate and deal with those challenges when they arise. That's why so many interviewers ask you to tell them about a time you handled a difficult situation. Do you feel prepared to answer that question? If not, this video is for you. Stay tuned to learn why interviewers ask this question, variations of this question you should be prepared for, and the best method for responding to impress the recruiter. For the best job search and career advice, please hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Kelly, a career coach and professional development specialist. I've spent the last 2 decades mentoring job seekers through the application process. Today, I'm going to give you some insight into one of the most popular yet challenging questions to expect during your next job interview. Specifically, how to respond to, tell me about a time you handled a difficult situation. I've worked with thousands of job seekers, and the advice I'm going to give you today has helped them formulate responses to this question that impress recruiters and demonstrate they are up to the job no matter how difficult it may be at times. Okay, let's get started. There are several reasons recruiters ask this question. First of all, it tends to make people a little uncomfortable. So right off the bat, they can see how you respond in a high-pressure situation. Next, they want to know how you've responded in stressful situations previously and how that might transfer into the job for which you are being interviewed. If you answer well, they will also get an idea how you communicate with others, how you solve problems, and if you will be able to step up when something similar happens in the future. There are several variations to this question. Some interviewers may actually be a bit specific. For instance, they might say, tell me how you handled a difficult situation at work. Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult person. They might even get more specific, saying, tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult customer, or a difficult boss, or a difficult colleague. Or they could pose a particular situation, such as, tell me how you handled a difficult situation where you had a tight deadline to meet. Or tell me about how you handled a difficult situation where you had to cover for a supervisor who was ill-equipped to fulfill the requirements of the job. This may be something which older job seekers are often asked, as they may be working subordinate to much younger or less experienced managers. I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever been asked about a difficult situation in an interview? Was it a variation of one of these or something else completely different? I would be interested to hear about your experience and how you felt responding. Please comment below with your story. As I said in previous videos about interviews, it helps to have prepared responses ahead of time. You should definitely come up with a few different responses to variations of this question so you can sound articulate and confident answering. As you are preparing your response, there are a few things to bear in mind. Read the job description. It is ideal if you can give an example of a difficult situation that would likely happen in the role you would be doing. The more you relate your responses to the job in question, the more the recruiter will be able to see you fulfilling that position. Maintain confidentiality. The hiring manager has seen your resume, so they know where you've worked. Don't mention people by name or specific details that could violate confidentiality. In one of my previous positions, I worked with a lot of celebrities, and I clearly remember who I loved and who I didn't. I might use one of these incidents as an example, but I would never use the names of clients to protect both myself and them. Keep it positive. No matter how unpleasant the situation, show you were the bigger person regardless of how painful it might have been. Don't call people names or blame them. Refrain from offering opinions or commentary. Just state the facts. Finally, talk about the role you played. If you're unfamiliar with the STAR technique, that changes right now. The best way to respond to any behavioral-based interview question is with this method. And it's great if it's done right. It highlights how you were the star. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. First, describe the situation. Provide enough detail for the interviewer to be able to understand what was going on. Next, what task or goal were you working towards? Then explain the action you took to address the situation. Again, focus on the role you played. Talk about the specific action steps you took. Finally, explain the result. Don't be afraid to take credit for the actions you completed which resulted in a positive outcome. Spend a little time thinking about the difficult situations you've encountered and how they might be related to the job you're pursuing. Then practice explaining those various situations using the STAR method and be sure to highlight your role. This is one place where you should definitely refer to what I did, not what we did. Well, really what you did. I think you get what I mean. I hope these tips help you better explain the difficult situations you've handled the next time you're asked in an interview. If you would like more information about how to prepare for job interviews, along with a list of the most commonly asked interview questions, there's a link to an interview guide I've written in the description box below. Also, if you're interested in joining a community of job seekers like yourself, I have a Facebook group where I share advice related to all aspects of the job search process and career development. Join the Facebook group using the link also below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.